Hey, it's Kristen and Bethany here with Girl Defined Ministries, and in today's vlog, we're going to be talking about 3 popular places to misplace your identity. So from a young age, most of us as girls, and we both totally did this, from a young age, we start comparing ourselves. We start looking to what other girls have. We start looking to what other people are saying we should have as girls, and we start forming our opinions about our identity, our worth, and our value about what other people are telling us or about what we observe and think that we should have. In our book, Girl Defined, we actually coined this as the big bad identity checklist. Because from a young age, all the way up until now, we all do this like, oh, that's what a pretty girl is. Check, I need to be that in order to be pretty. Oh, if I have a boyfriend like that, then I'll be successful. Oh, if I pursue this kind of career, then I'll really be worth something. And we create this internal checklist that we now measure ourselves against. And if we accomplish that checklist, then we view ourselves as having worth, as having value, and we place our identity in that. But the problem is that it never satisfies because we cannot find our identity, our worth, and our value in things that can change. That's not how God created us to find our identity. So in this vlog, there's so many places that we as women misplace our identity, but we've really narrowed it down to what we think are the 3 most popular and most damaging. So we're going to unpack those and help all of us discover if any of us are placing our identity in these 3 most popular wrong places. So the first place that we as women so often misplace our identity in is in outward appearance. Beauty in our culture truly has become like a beast in our eyes. It's basically like this big looming thing that says you must achieve this certain look or this certain standard in order to be truly valuable. Unfortunately, the standard is always chasing, so it feels like we're always chasing after this standard of beauty that we can never achieve. And we looked at this and we think, if only I looked that way, then I would have true beauty. Then I would be truly worth something. But that is such a lie. And in our book, Girl Defined, we actually talk about lies and truths, and we say the lie, physical beauty will bring me ultimate happiness and satisfaction. But nowhere in God's word do we see that. In fact, the truth is that God handcrafted you to look just the way that you do. We really challenge you to go and read Psalm 139, 13 through 15. We're going to link to it below because that's what God thinks about you. He talks about how he handcrafted you. He knitted you together in your mother's womb to look just the way that you do. So we really challenge you to embrace that truth and to say, no, I am not going to chase after this ever and changing standard of beauty that will change 1 minute and I will never measure up. We challenge you to go to God's word and say, no, Lord, you created me just the way that you want me to look, and I'm going to find my worth and identity in you alone. And the second most popular place that we misplace our identity as women is in our relationship status. This goes for single girls wanting a boyfriend, for girls wanting to get married and have that husband status, whatever it is. In our culture, having a relationship, whatever it may look like, is really a status. And I think social media has really encouraged us in the wrong direction because you have that status physically that people can see, single, married, in a relationship, whatever it is. And so often we place our identity in that status, what that status says. In fact, really interestingly, there was a survey that was done recently, and 70% of girls in this survey said that they would feel better about themselves and they would feel worth more if they had a boyfriend. Now that just shows you that the majority of us as women are placing our identity and value in that status, in having a boyfriend. We're believing the lie that having a boyfriend will bring me total satisfaction. And that's a lie, because there are plenty of girls with boyfriends and plenty of girls who are married who are not satisfied,
That's
right?
true.
So if it brought you total satisfaction,
like, what's going
why
on?
isn't everyone in relationships like totally happy all the time? Because God didn't create us to find our worth, our value, and our satisfaction in that identity. Here's the truth. God is the only one who can fully satisfy you. No amount of guys, no amount of getting married is going to fully satisfy you and fill that longing that you have in your heart for that relational connection. God is the only one through a relationship with him that can fully satisfy you. So rather than looking to a relationship, looking to that status for identity, we need to be so intentional as girls to look to Christ, to pursue an intentional, solid daily relationship with him, and we will be amazed at how satisfied we can be in that relationship.
And number 3 is personal talents. Now, this one is a broad variety because it could be music, it could be sports, it could be like school, education. There are so many things that we as women strive to look for. We think, okay, if only I were, a starter on this basketball team. Oh, if only that I could play the piano a little bit better. If only I had a better singing voice. And we look to our talents and we say, wow, if I can achieve this certain status in people's eyes of having a great enough talent, then I will be successful. Then I will be worth something. But that's hard because we're not always going to achieve those things perfectly. I was a basketball player and I think I was pretty good. But there were some days where it just wasn't working. And if I put my identity and worth in my skills as a basketball player, I was going to be disappointed at times and I was going to be unworthy because there were times where I just could not make a shot.
Like you actually lost a game?
Maybe once or twice, but hey, I was pretty good. But even still, or if you play the piano like Kristen, there are some days where you might not hit all the notes
right
perfectly. So we really want to challenge you not to believe the lie that your talents will bring you ultimate satisfaction, because they can't. You can never measure up. You will always find someone who is more advanced than you. You won't always do it perfectly. And instead, embrace the truth that your talents are a gift from God to be used for His glory. And when you use your gifts and talents and say, God, thank you for these gifts. I enjoy them. I love being smart or playing the piano or playing basketball, but they're ultimately about you. They're for your glory, and you don't put your identity in them. Instead, you use them for Christ. It is so freeing. So we really challenge you not to get caught up in the trap of placing your identity in your talents, but really use them to serve and glorify God.
So those are 3 of the most popular places that we as women tend to place our identity.
Yeah.
We tend to look for our value and worth based on those 3 things. And there are so many more.
There are so many more.
The checklist is endless. It could go on forever. So rather than looking to any of those things, we want to encourage you to look to Christ. He is your identity. He is your creator. Build a relationship with Him. And in that, you will be ultimately satisfied.
Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from us, you can subscribe to our channel below, because we post new videos every Wednesday. I think it worked. It did, but I could tell you were like looking at me like I can't wrap it up.
Other place that we... Okay. Oh,
It's
no.
fine. It'll be fine. But really gonna be late. And if we wrap this up right this second, we'll finish.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Bad about life. No, that's terrible.
Okay.
Oh,
torture.
Okay, I know. I tried. Okay.
It works.
It works.
It was like a little crunchy at the beginning, like, oh. It was like, oh, and I was just wanting to be like, slow down. Okay,
It'll be fine though. Okay.